Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the AGL Harsh Trials Gohan kid. And we're going to see just how good he is in Dokkan at 55%. Now he is an SSR, he does not have a Dokkan Awakening currently. And yeah, he's just pretty interesting to look at. I think with kind of the speculation on all of the units coming up, and with Saiyan Saga kind of being a in vogue category right now, I think it's exciting to see exactly what units are doing and what options there are. Now Gohan is a super AGL type lead of Ki +2, HP, attack and defense is 70%. He has attack and defense is 60%, plus an additional attack and defense of 20% at the start of each turn, up to 80%, and Ki +2 when Piccolo is on the team. He has attacks effective against all types, so when your team has Piccolo attacking in the same turn, and attack and defense of 15% with each attack received. He will also lower the enemy's attack on his super attack. He has the Innocence, Infighter, Demonic Ways, Same Warrior Race, Gaze of Respect, and All in the Family as his key links. And he's on the Bond of Master and Disciple, Bond of Parent and Child, Earthbred Fighters, Goku's Family, Hybrid Saiyans, Saiyan Saga, and Youth categories. Now because he doesn't have Shattering the Limit yet, because he has not received his Dokkan Awakening, he doesn't necessarily link too great with anyone. His main key links right now are Demonic Ways and Gaze of Respect, which you'll see later. But these links don't have a lot of viability on the teams that Gohan's on. Now obviously in terms of his passive, it's quite imperative to also be running a Piccolo. And not only a Piccolo, but it has to be a straight up Piccolo character. It can't be Demon King Piccolo, but it can be Piccolo, Piccolo Awakening, Piccolo fused with Nail. Anything of those or like those will count. So you can definitely use those units to activate his full passive. Now obviously Gohan, he is, I would say, pretty solid. Quite frankly, I would say he's, well, when I say solid, let me put it this way. I think he has a solid base upon which to work on, but there are a couple issues, obviously, that you can tell probably. Firstly, at 55%, World Tournament units just do not have good stats. They have B tier stat systems, so their gain that they get from hidden potential is very low to begin with, but even then they just have low stats, in general. So Gohan right off the bat not starting at a great point. 50k defense, 400,000 attack stat, not really that impressive. Not to mention Gohan's biggest issue is that Piccolo enables him to get quite a sizable amount of additional attack and defense. He gains an additional attack and defense at 20% at the start of each turn, up to 80% when a Piccolo is on the team. But now the thing is Piccolo is just not on a lot of his teams. If you look at his categories, you can't really swing Piccolo on a lot of them. Goku's Family, Hybrid Saiyans, Youth, Bond of Master and Disciple you can, Bond of Parent and Child you can't. So it's really only the three categories: Bond of Master and Disciple, Earthbred Fighters, and Saiyan Saga. So it's not a lot of categories, it's not a lot of wiggle room, it's just not a lot of things in general, and that's just kind of how Gohan feels. A unit that in theory could be a lot of fun, but is just rather limited really. So you can see here, he's up to 60,000 defense now, which isn't terrible for a unit that's 55% unawakened, but it's just not spectacular. It's not game breaking. Now if you've got this guy Rainbow and you're activating his Piccolo portion of his passive, you can see a better version of this unit than obviously I will see, and I think that's fine. That's just generally how it works. But the thing is there is obviously that factor that he just doesn't do a lot. For the setup that you need to basically run him, you have to run him on a Saiyan Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, or a Earthbred Fighters team. You then also have to make sure you have Piccolo on the team. You have to make sure that he has Piccolo in the same rotation if you want attacks effective against all types. And all of these things just generally don't seem to come together that impressively. They're not, you know, super easy to do, and they don't result in super impressive performance. It's not like he becomes game breaking when you combine all of these things. He just becomes alright. So 55% is not the best reflection of this unit, and I'll be the first to admit that, but it's interesting to see what he could become. Now, if you give him just augmented stats, I think that's fine, but I think in general, if you also give him some additional attack and defense per attack, you can then start to look really good. I think giving him guaranteed crits when Piccolo's in rotation is also probably better, because guaranteed crits would really augment his damage without having to change his base functionality pretty much at all. Now, obviously, depending on the other changes, that could then become too powerful, but I think it's definitely something you want to take a look at. So here we are, 1,060,000 odd, and we are at 97,000 in terms of defense, and this is with quite a sizable amount of support. Goku is a 50% support, so it's not the craziest situation to be in. Quite frankly, it's smack bang on not good. If you were to compare it to today's standards of units, it's just not that impressive. But it's not what he is now, it's what he could become that I think is the most exciting. But also, it just goes to show you how important having Piccolo is, because here he is on a similar rotation with only 20% defense, 20% support, and he has quite a substantial amount of defense, almost 20k more, which is quite impressive. Not to mention, couple that with the fact that his attack stat is roughly the similar, and that's minus a lot of support for him. I think he looks okay. I think there's a version of Gohan after his Dokkan Awakening that's really, really fun. And I think the one nice thing is that the Goku and Piccolo unit that leads Saiyan Saga and is one of the better Saiyan Saga units also gives Gohan everything he needs for his passive. So I think that could be a really, really exciting kind of combo. And I think, yeah, it is an exciting, kind of potential situation to be in. It's not amazing, but there is always a chance that all these things could come together and Gohan could look pretty good. But the main thing that kind of holds Gohan back, as you can imagine, is his links. He has Gaze of Respect and Monarch Ways as his links currently, and these are his major key links, and they just don't really link well with anyone. Demonic Ways is literally like it's like a Martian Buu link. It's very strange. And Gaze of Respect is a Piccolo / Demon King Piccolo kind of link. Then you get All in the Family, Same Warrior Race, the Innocents. These are a lot more common, a lot more freely accessible, genuinely decent links that you could link up, in quite a few places. So these are fine, and these obviously work out great if you're looking at linking him up with other Innocents or Goku's family units. The only problem is, quite frankly, he doesn't perform his best there. You lose out on a lot of attack and defense gain from having Piccolo on the rotation. You also just lose out in general from not being able to run Piccolo on your team. So although you're getting the stronger link set, technically, or the more accessible stronger link set, you are losing out a lot. Conversely, because he's got two extreme character links, Demonic Ways and Gaze of Respect both scale really well with link leveling, giving him attack and defense at 10% on both of them, which is pretty nice. If you actually think about it in general, it could really push Gohan to new heights. But the problem is look at that list of units that uses it. It's literally only Piccolo and Demon King Piccolo and like Lord Slug units. It just really does not make sense. Like it's really not a situation that makes a lot of sense for Gohan, unless we get a different named Gohan Kid of some kind, or a Gohan Kid cross Piccolo unit, which could be possible from the Saiyan Saga. I think that would be the best solution. We'll just have to see how he goes. But that's it from me. Bye.